Now I am going to explain the most horrible movie, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. This is the time of August 1939 is shown as the movie start. A slaughterhouse comes on the scene in Texas. There is an expectant lady who is working. Suddenly she undergoes pain and delivers a baby, but that lady is passed away after giving birth to the baby. That baby was not like other babies and was infectious. Another lady finds that baby in a waste bin outside the slaughterhouse. The manager of the slaughterhouse had disposed him in the garbage can. That lady returns to her house picking up that baby. She gives him identity and treats him as her own baby. That baby's skin is wholly spoiled because of the skin disease. So people used to make fun of him while teasing. So he used to keep his face covered every time. 30 years later, a dangerous infectious disease is spread throughout the town. Protecting from that disease, the town people start leaving the place except Leatherface's family. Leatherface's workplace slaughterhouse had also been sealed by health department. In spite of this, Leatherface doesn't leave that place and continues his work, but manager expels him forcefully. He was the same manager who had disposed of Leatherface after his birth in the garbage can. Leatherface leaves that place at once but comes again. But manager again degrades him because the manager was upset with Leatherface's family. Everyone had left the town except him. Leatherface becomes aggressive and hammers Manger. Manger promptly calls police, but Leatherface hammers him from many times before he tells to police something and he loses his life. Afterwards, Leatherface lifts a lying chainsaw from there and leaves. After a while, a police officer arrives at Leatherface's house. Police officer asks him to raise his hands. At the same time, Leatherface's family member kills police officer with his gun. He was the father of Leatherface, who takes the identification of police officer. Then he disguises as a police officer named Hoyt. They eat him that night. Here that family specifies itself as cannibals. Then two brothers are shown. The name of one brother was Eric and they are going for a trip with their female friends. On the way, they stop at a filling station belonging to Leatherface's mother. There are two motorcyclists who are staring at them. They drive away from there. Then they notice that a motorcyclist girl is chasing them. Pointing a gun on them, she asks them to stop the car. Eric drives car speedily while noticing it. He also begins to fire his gun, taking it out. Immediately, a cow appears in front of their car. So car loses its balance after being struck with it and car is crashed. They are survived but wounded badly. Eric checks that his friend Chrissy is not in the car but had fallen out of the car. Eric gets off the car to rescue Chrissy and that motorcyclist girl points a gun at him. Disguised Hoyt reaches there before she kills him. Hoyt shoots down her. Coming out from the car, witnessing it, those friends are upset. Hoyt brings them out of the car. Eric finds Chrissy in the bushes and he asks her to keep herself hidden there. Hoyt asks them to place motorcyclist girl's dead body in his car. He drives away, taking 3 of them in the car. Hoyt tells his brother through radio communication that I have captured 3 persons and you may come here soon. Then Chrissy starts the car as they depart. But the car was not starting. Then she begins to search Eric's gun. Meanwhile, Hoyt's brother is also arrived on the scene and she quickly hides herself in the car. Hoyt's brother reaches there driving truck loader. Chrissy glimpses gun in the car, but Hoyt's brother picks it before she takes and she starts pulling the car through truck. Hoyt comes to his house after taking 3 of them. Then Leatherface leaving, taking that motorcyclist dead body from there as Hoyt calls him. Those people are left shocked and scared seeing him because he was appearing not less than satanic. Hoyt hangs at a place of both brothers while their female friend is taken inside by him. Leatherface is cutting up the dead body of motorcyclist in a basement. Meanwhile, Hoyt's brother also reaches there driving a car and Chrissy was also inside it. Chrissy was noticing every occurrence there covertly. Hoyt wraps Eric's face with a transparent sheet which creates a problem in his breathing. Hoyt offers a chance to Eric's brother at the last time to escape. He says, do 10 push-ups. I will release you if you succeed to do it. Eric's brother starts doing push-ups, but Hoyt was also beating him, so it was very hard to do push-ups. But he courageously succeeds to do 10 push-ups. Backing out his promise, he does not release him but knocks him out while beating him. On the opposite side, Chrissy escapes to a road where she comes across the fellow being of that motorcyclist guy. Chrissy reveals that an unknown person has taken the life of your companion and he agrees to accompany Chrissy. Contrarily, Eric somehow releases himself. Hiding his brother, somehow he moves to a basement in search of his female friend. There are 2 ladies inside who are Leatherface's family members. They had tied Eric's friend under the table. Eric frees his female friend using a knife. She says her friend quickly, giving the car keys. Go and start the car hurriedly. Then he moves to rescue his brother. His friend starts the pickup truck, but Leatherface pulls her out with a meat hook. Letting go his brother, Eric himself faces Hoyt. Eric's brother accidentally places his foot on a trap while running and he is caught. Eric hears the screaming of his brother and Hoyt makes him unconscious while beating. And those 3 friends are again captured once again by them. Leatherface brings Eric into the basement and he starts examining his face, lying him down on the table. Now he was going to victimize Eric. Chrissy also reaches that house with that biker. That biker enters the house immediately without Chrissy. Chrissy notices Eric's entrapped brother outside. He tells Chrissy, both of our friends are in the house. Hearing it, Chrissy intrudes in the house. Leatherface is cutting up Eric in the basement. It is such a pathetic way. Chrissy hears the shouting of Eric and she reaches at the door of basement following the pitch of sound. Leatherface goes upstairs taking his chainsaw, and Chrissy covertly moves to the basement getting a chance. Chrissy catches the sight of Eric, but he was left in worst condition by Leatherface, and Chrissy begins to release Eric. He begins to fire his gun on Hoyt furiously, but Leatherface attacks him coming there. He pushes that biker to that chainsaw, and he turns on the chainsaw, and that biker is dissected with that chainsaw. Chrissy is trying to free Eric but of no use, and Chrissy hides under the table as Leatherface reaches there. Leatherface also dissects Eric using chainsaw. Afterwards, he starts removing his skin with a knife. He prepares a flesh mask after stitching that skin, and he himself puts on it. Here he takes the identity of Leatherface. Coming out, Chrissy runs away from there. Suddenly, he hears the shrieking of her female friend. Here, she could escape, but she retreats to rescue her female friend. Hoyt's brother was suffering foot pain because he was shot by that biker. He requests his brother Hoyt, "Relieve me from this pain and help me," he says to Leatherface, "Perform a surgery." Leatherface turns on the chainsaw and dissects his one of the feet. Hoyt says to Leatherface, "I am not liking this structure of the body. Level both of his foot." Hearing it, Leatherface also dissects his other foot. Chrissy comes to her female friend, but Hoyt catches her sight. Hoyt makes Chrissy sit on the dining chair, and that family was going to dine. At the same time, Leatherface arrives there, and he kills Chrissy's female friend, cutting her throat. Now he begins to take Chrissy towards the basement, but Chrissy hits his back with a screwdriver. As a result, Leatherface leaves her, and Chrissy goes outside that house, breaking the window. Leatherface follows him, taking his chainsaw. Eric's brother attacks Hoyt, coming into consciousness. He breaks Hoyt's teeth, beating him down. Chrissy hides in a barrel, holding a knife. She scratches his face with that knife as Leatherface comes to her, but Leatherface is not impacted by it, and he begins to dissect Chrissy, lying her down. Meantime, Eric's brother approaches and he kills him, thrusting chainsaw into his back. Chrissy immediately runs away. She leaves sitting in a car. She glimpses a police officer with his car on the road, and she feels comfort. Suddenly, Leatherface kills him from car backseat, thrusting chainsaw into her. The car crashes the police officer and another man. Leatherface gets off the car and moves to the house with his chainsaw. Only one girl is survivor among them. She reveals the fact of this family to police. Senior police officer raids there and asks the whole family to come outside, raising their hands. Then area's mayor with his entire team reaches there, and they assault Leatherface's family without any consideration. Leatherface's house is set on fire, and each member of his family is killed alongside. The whole incident occurs in front of senior police officer, but he is unable to take any action. Police officer observes an alive family member of Leatherface who is seen holding a baby. That lady pleads for help from police officer, but that police officer shoots down her without helping, and he also takes that baby. Having no baby, that police officer adopts that baby girl, and he brings that baby girl to his wife. That baby girl had a birthmark on her body. It means she belonged to Leatherface's ancestry. Many years later, A girl named Heather is shown. Heather is the same girl who was adopted by police officer and who belonged to Leatherface's ancestry. They bring up Heather as their own daughter. One day Heather receives a letter with the written statement that Heather's grandmother has passed away and Heather is the owner of the property. Heather was understanding nothing because she had no grandmother, so she asked about it from her parents. Then the reality is exposed before her as she is not their biological daughter, but they had adopted her. Being worried, she is infuriated hearing them. Then she leaves the house. She tells her male friend coming to him, I am going to a town, Texas. My grandmother resides there. And her friend agrees to accompany her, and Heather's other two friends are also ready to go with her. They stop their car at a filling station located on the way. A boy confronts their car as Heather's friend starts driving. The boy is also moving at the same place, so they give lift that hitchhiker. They reach at Heather's grandmother's house location in the morning. All are left astonished, witnessing Heather's grandmother's property, because they had thought that there will be a small area of land, but it was a grand house. Heather also meets a lawyer there. He hands Heather the house keys and a letter penned by her grandmother before her passing. That lawyer suggests to Heather, first of all, read this letter because it is obligatory. Heather asks him, how did you search me out? He replies, when are you lost? They find a grand building going inside. There are high-priced belongings being owned. Heather is very excited. Because she was the owner now, Heather moves to the backside of house. There was the graveyard of that family, where she says the grave of her mother along with the grave of her grandmother. Being excited there, her friends say that they will stay here tonight. The wanderer whom they lifted on the way also wanted to stay there with them. Heather agrees for it. All friends go to market to purchase commodities, but the wanderer doesn't accompany them. He says, I will clean the house until you go to market. They all friends leave to market, but the wanderer begins to feel his back after stealing costly things rather than to clean the house. He starts to search for a key of a big lock after robbing, thinking there is a big treasure inside. He also finds that big metal door. He tries his best to unlock that metal door, but it was a strong one, so it is not unlocked. He is sure that there must be a treasure inside, so he goes to arrange tools in order to unlock this door. Then Leatherface hammers him and puts him to death. Coming from backside, Heather meets a police officer who begins to talk with her. Then that mayor approaches there who had ended Leatherface's family. He also starts interrogation from Heather. Knowing about the ownership of house, Mayor requests to Heather that she may sell the house to him. Heather leaves after rejecting the suggestion. Coming into house, all friends notice that wanderer has run away while stealing everything of the house with keys, but Heather's friends don't worry it, and also is Heather. Heather's friends is cooking at night, and he also finds that unrevealed metal door. He is going to call that wanderer, but Leatherface was running towards him from his front side. That wanderer tries to escape from there, but Leatherface captures him. Coming there, he goes taking him. His friends cannot hear her voice because loud music was playing upstairs. Heather is in her grandmother's room and she is detecting the luggage of her grandmother. She is afraid, looking at a mirror because there was her grandmother's dead body behind it. Running from there quickly, she begins to search out her friends, but she finds no one there. Then she moves to the kitchen, where she encounters Leatherface, who was cutting up the fingers of someone for cooking. He knocks Heather out while catching her. Heather finds herself in the basement, waking up. Leatherface is dissecting the Wanderer's dead body while he hangs Heather's friend on the meat hook. And he dismembers him, cutting with the chainsaw. At the same time, Heather escapes from there, getting a chance. Heather hides in a coffin to save herself, but Leatherface catches her sight. He strikes the chainsaw in the coffin. Hearing the noise, Heather's both friends also come outside. Now Leatherface goes after them. Leather's friends locks the door, going inside, but Leatherface begins to cut the door. Then Heather's female friend fires a gun on him, which was there. It was seeming a situation was recovered. Then Heather also reaches their driving van. Both of Heather's friends graze on the van quickly, but Leatherface attacks them, so he is able to drive away the van outside. But Leatherface tears up a tire of the van before it. It results van crash while driving at a distance. Heather's male friend meets his end because of that accident. Heather and her friends try to come outside the van, but they are immediately attacked by Leatherface. He turns their van upside down and begins to cut up Heather's friend with chainsaw, opening van door. Heather gets off the van to rescue her friend at full tilt, and she makes Leatherface chase her. While running, she reaches a festival, and Leatherface also comes after her there. All are scared, witnessing Leatherface. Heather suspends with a wheel to save her, while Leatherface is awaiting her, standing downside. Heather descends and Leatherface was also equipped, turning on the chainsaw. Meanwhile, a police officer arrives there and Leatherface flees, throwing his chainsaw on him. That police officer brings Heather to the police station. At the same time, that mayor also comes there, and both police officers along there. Leatherface starts investigating those documents, and the reality of her family and the town is revealed. How was her family rooted out? Everything was an open book before her. On the opposite side, a senior police officer is telling to Mayor that Heather has seen Leatherface, but Mayor suspects it. He says we had ended the entire family of Leatherface. Mayor instructs a police officer to go inside, who was standing near Leatherface's house, and Mayor was also able to view the scenes through a phone. Police officer reaches the cellar while tracking the blood stains. He finds their mutilated dead bodies. Police officer feels uncomfortable witnessing the dead bodies, so he wanted to leave rather than to move ahead. He begins to leave briskly after disconnecting the call, but he is victimized on the way by Leatherface. Mayor comes to Heather in fury and knows that Heather has escaped from there. Mayor makes his mind that Leatherface's last family member, Heather, should also be killed. Heather calls her lawyer, who asks her to come in the pub. Heather meets that lawyer, who asks, "Have you read that letter?" He tells it was very important to read that letter. But Heather had not read the letter. The lawyer tells Heather the killer of your friends is Leatherface. He is your kin. But Leatherface is unaware that Heather belongs to his ancestry. Mayor reaches there as lawyer begins to take Heather from there. Lawyer makes Heather run while giving a knife to her. Heather runs outside, but Mayor's man hits her with a car. Heather attacks him with a knife as he comes close to her. As she escapes from there, Heather encounters a police officer and she tells him, "Mayor is chasing me." He instantly gets her in the patrol car. That boy tells his father, Mayor, that I have captured Heather. Then Mayor says, bring her into the slaughterhouse where they will kill Heather. Mayor reveals to senior police officer, I am going to end Heather, the last family member of Leatherface. Leatherface hears it all and leaves taking his chainsaw. Mayor's son binds Heather, taking her inside. Meantime, Leatherface also reaches there. He notices a birthmark on Heather's body as he is about to kill her. And he comes to know that Heather is my cousin. It means she is the last member of Leatherface's family. So he quickly lets Heather go. Meanwhile, Mayor arrives on the scene. He begins to kill Leatherface. Heather escapes from there. Mayor and his son are going to kill Leatherface inside while throwing him into the meat grinder. Heather goes inside to help Leatherface instead of running the place. She hands over the chainsaw to Leather's saw after killing Mayor's son. Senior police officer also reaches there as Leatherface is about to finish Mayor. Mayor asks for help from senior police officer but in vain, and he wanted to witness all happenings. Leatherface ends Mayor throwing him into the meat grinder. Senior police officer departs. Leatherface and Heather return to their house together. Now Heather reads her grandmother's leaflet. There was written, you are the owner of entire property, but you have a responsibility over you, as your cousin Leatherface lives in the cellar. He will guard you, and you will have to take care of him in return. They both cousins are united and the ancestry maintains. The movie also completes with it. Thank you for watching.